Guys, so let's do a quick action taken review to the last session. So I want to just specify on a couple of things. Just hold on. Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So how many blogs did you read last 2 days?
I read two micro, like not proper blogs, but not out of these. None out of these.
Okay. Nupur?
I did not. I did not read any blog.
Okay. Amaya? What's the challenge? Just unmute yourself.
Not exactly challenge, but I was planning on starting a book on the weekend, like Sunday. I was like, the whole day I would start to read a book out of these three, someone. So
That means these last 2 days you did not invest on yourself, not even 20 minutes.
I didn't actually read any of the blogs or this, but I was reading and watch some videos regarding our domain, the UI UX part, since I have bit. So I was building my knowledge in that. UI UX trends, the mobile apps, websites, all these things.
Okay. Just give me a second. Okay. There's one good tool that I can recommend so that you don't miss out on your reading. That's called Feedly. Do you use Feedly? So there is an app as well as a desktop, like a browser or a web app. So this is what I've been using for the last 7 to 8 years. It's really good. So what you do is you go to Feedly and you let me show you my screen. Hold on. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
This is how Feedly looks. You also have a very nice app. So you log in. So what Feedly does is it collects all the good blogs, all the good RSS articles, whichever you tell Feedly to source. So if you like articles on sales, digital marketing, design, whatever topic, you just give them the topic, it will drop the article. So if you see this one, the left-hand column, it's all the feeds. So this is something I have set many years back because I want to read on these topics. So let's say I want to talk about digital marketing. So it will collect all the best topics from across the web and will give it to you like a compressed small bite-sized information. So every day, 15 minutes, just go to Feedly. You don't have to go through many websites. You plug in all your favorite websites in Feedly, and it starts sourcing these information, right? So 15 minutes, open Feedly, listen to it's just like a news channel. It will collect news from all over the world and give it to you. Same with sales, whatever. You can select in terms of the people that you want to follow, the blogs you want to follow, the technology news you want to follow. So this is, it will pull everything from everywhere, right?
Okay.
Okay. Because the reason I'm asking you is because after the session, Samir called me. He saw the entire video and he said, I want to take all the books and the videos that you mentioned. So then I thought that if Samir can call me, why these three guys didn't call me? So he asked me which movies you recommended, which Netflix shows you recommended. So one is Feedly. Second thing is this extension that I had suggested. I don't think you have. We were like kind of rushing to the end of it. So if you see my screen, there's one extension, Chrome extension I had suggested, the
Yeah,
Pomodoro Chrome extension, right?
Yes.
So have you tried doing that?
I have, but I don't understand how it works. It's there on my.
There's nothing. You just click it. I'll show you the demo. For example, you want to just write something, or write a proposal, or you want to respond to client emails. You will not do
Uh,
anything. Put your phone on airplane mode, and you just click this Chrome extension, right? That's it. You just click on this 25. You can see the 25 here. Can you see the screen, guys?
yeah, but 25 hasn't.
Yep, just click it. So the Pomodoro technique is scientifically designed that every block of time should be 25 minutes.
Acha.
So you do something for 25 minutes, you take a 5 minutes break, you come back, you do something else. So if you do it for like 21 days, you'll be super focused. You'll get this in your habit. Let's say you want to read a book, put this extension on, read that book for 25 minutes, don't do anything else. So for 25 minutes, you have to practice your brain to do only one thing. Whether it is writing, reading, responding to emails, meetings, you will only do one thing. That's the idea.
Okay.
So Feedly and this extension. So this is, we started today. Okay, so coming back to our main topic. So the exercise, so good job on that, guys. You all did it on time. Okay, I was just reading all your inputs. So this is nice. So I'm starting with Nupur. So you mentioned, if you can elaborate within the section which says why lemon yellow, you mentioned being woke. Can you just explain what that means?
Yes. Yes. Uh, Generally, being woke is generally used for millennial generation, and the fact that the company is owned by uh, people who are not millennials and are still in the game, very much active, very much knowing what the current trends are, following it, uh, being sensitive towards the environment or some issues that need to be spoken about. So that is why I've said being woke, because Lemon Yellow promotes a lot of environment friendly things, or you can say LGBT community, or women empowerment, or the Australia bushfires, or something like that. And they're vocal about it, they're woke about it, and they actually react to things like that to up their game. So that is why I wrote being woke.
Okay, interesting thought. Cost effective. So cost effective is, so when the question was why lemon yellow, so it's more from the customer's point of view that there's so many other firms, why I should choose lemon yellow. So okay, cost effective is a powerful differentiator. Fine. When you say thought design, what does that mean?
So even for us, we have been taught that there should be some kind of thought, a story, or a trail behind even for a simple logo, that it just cannot come out of the blue. There needs to be some correlation to it, or some kind of personal touch to it. Tomorrow, if a client comes to us and says that he wants to make a logo, I'm just not going to do it out of the blue. I have to take some kind of basic steps, understand his perspective, and accordingly make a logo which would be beneficial for him and his industry, which he will be stepping into or he is into. So uh, I think that the design where you're actually thinking towards his betterment and making whatever, a logo, brochure, or anything, is where thought design comes in, and that is why I put that, because Lemon Yellow believes in thought designing instead of just doing what is trendy and funky.
Okay, fair enough. So this is the reason. So this is like an audit. This exercise is like an audit. If let's say I give the same sheet to how many team members do you have in your 20, 30? So,
Yeah, 20.
so if I gave the same sheet to 20 of your colleagues, what would have come out in this sheet? So I see you guys are all aligned to at least 70 to 80%. Like what our offerings, Ameya, Nikita, almost same, right? Who are we serving? Nupur, you did not elaborate here. You mentioned B2B, B2C, MNCs, individuals. So this is little broad.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
like for example, how Ameya and Nikita mentioned, they mentioned the industries, the healthcare,
Oh.
FMCG, fintech. What is VOD? Video on demand.
Yes.
Yeah.
So these kind of companies. So if you can, you need to elaborate as to which industry are you servicing, right?
Okay.
So this is good. What pain points are we addressing? This is why we mark on orange color over here. If you see where are we serving? You three guys have written three different things. Somebody saying we're a global company. Nupur says across the globe, from Iran to Japan. Then Nikita says Thane, Mumbai, and globe. Then Ameya says mainly Mumbai, across India, across India. I don't know why two times across India. So, anyways, so this is something. So the whole idea is, I'll tell you the background of this document. There are certain documents in a company which are called the backbone documents. If you go to any company, certain company, like for example, your company incorporation, right? You do private limited, whatever. That document does not change, right? That document is like the core document, which is with the government, which is with you, which is with everywhere. That's like the foundation document. This service matrix is also a very crucial and a backbone document. It will not have a lot of variations unless your company completely diverts into a different field, into a different geography, adds new. You will just make a version of this document. So somebody has to be the owner of this document, and it has to be one among you three people. I'll tell you one more reason why this is required. Tomorrow you three guys get promoted. You have three people under you, right? Those three people resign. Another three new people come. You cannot create this document again and again. This document will be made only once. Getting it? So
Yes.
it is like a pillar document. It's the pillar of your business. Once this is done, any new people coming in, let's say you tomorrow you resign, you get a new person to hand over. This is the document you'll give them, boss. This is what Lemon Yellow is. This is like you have interns joining, you have new people joining in. How to give a very quick snapshot of what you're doing. This is the document, and this is one of the important documents. Getting it?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's why I made another tab called final tab. So this is one of the exercises. You three have to, once we decide right now that this is who we are, this is our differentiator, this is who we are servicing, there has to be a final document in agreement between the four of us. Then it will go to Samir and Amit that, boss, is this what Lemon Yellow is? Once they say okay, document is done. Right? 15-minute task. So this is something we need to work on, that location. See, there are a couple of things. One is what we wish that we want. Like my service can be given to anywhere in this globe, from New York to Nigeria. That does not mean that I'm a global company, right? Like for example, uh, every geography needs a separate strategy. You cannot sitting in Mumbai, you cannot service the whole world. That is why if you see companies, they're very focused that we will focus only on US, we will focus only on English speaking countries, we'll focus on India. So we have to be very crystal clear, because you don't have the bandwidth to service the whole world. So this, when you're writing globe, it is actually not, it does not convey the right strategy. Just because, like for example, somebody is manufacturing cornflakes. Cornflakes is eaten all over the world. That does not mean I become a global company. I
Okay, I have a question.
Hmm?
So I have a question here.
Okay.
So we have served to clients in, like, for example, there's a Danish company who we have worked for. We made a product video for them, and we continue to work with them like time and again whenever they need it. Then there is a Singapore-based company who are into cryptocurrency. So we have done a lot of work for them as well, and it also keeps coming, and we are associated with them. Also in the US, there are some people who we do website work for. There was a Spanish company's owner who came over to our office, and they kind of we talked about collaborations. Then we have certain apps which demand that the app should be made in different languages, like designed in different. So Chinese would need a different language, design language. Japanese would need another, and some English would need another styles. But the same app, for example, but they might want to go like multiple versions language wise. So we come in for all of those. So that way I have written Globe, though we are based in Thane, Mumbai, but we are serving across the globe in a way already. And that's the plan as well, right? Like you rightly said that every country strategy also depends, like is different. Country wise also we have different strategies and way of working. And suppose we have branches going ahead, it will be different for different. But currently we are serving them, like different parts of the world. We are working already. So how do I differentiate that or make it more specific?
When you've written something like across the globe,
Yeah,
you're done. You don't have to write Thane, Navi Mumbai, Mumbai, and all that.
yeah, I know, but like, what
So
should be
you
the
have
approach?
customers. You have customers from these different parts,
Yeah,
but you never had a strategy. Do you have 100 leads from Singapore? Do you have a
no,
pipeline? Do you have a strategy to how to attack the
no,
Singapore market?
no, not that
Do
way.
you have 100 leads from US?
No.
So you
Not 100, but yes,
so that's a trap. Just
yeah.
because I have some customers from some geography, I think that I'm a multi. What's the difference between international and multinational? Ameya,
What?
I have international clients and I'm a multinational company. What's the difference?
International clients means basically you have clients which are from different geography, and a multinational company, the company is based in different all over various geographical regions, and you provide services to that particular areas or
Right. So you have some international clients,
clients,
but
but
you do
we are
not
not
have a
a
multinational strategy.
Hmm.
Like
Okay.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
know what my strategy is for Singapore, right? Who are
Yeah.
my competitors in Singapore? I do not have a pipeline of 100 companies I'm speaking to actively in Singapore. I do not have a sales manager who's looking after Singapore market.
Yeah.
So that is the reason we have to be very, very special because our energies are limited, right? Our budget is limited. Our entire delivery force is limited. So we'll come to that in the next chapters. Like, how do you create a strategy geography wise? You can create multiple strategies, right? You can create a geography wise strategy. You can create an industry wise strategy, and you can create a service wise strategy. Right? There are three ways of looking at the same thing. So that is the reason these questions are broken, right? What are we serving? Who are we serving? So when you're saying what, it is a service. Who, you have mentioned the industry. Where, it's a geography, right? So we can
Yeah.
have multiple strategies going on. But for now, so let's focus on some geographies that we is there a business plan that has happened at the beginning of the year for Lemon Yellow?
No.
That guys, this is 2021. This is what we did last year. 2021, हमको इतना करना है. This is the amount of business you have to bring in. These are the clients you have to bring in. Do you have that kind of a meeting?
Not really.
What's the goal? Where are you going?
not exactly that, but a few months back, like we were given a target, like Actually Nupur wasn't there. Me, Nikita, and Riya was there. She left employee. So we were three were given a compiled target that this number of business we have to achieve in
This
3 months, 4 months, ऐसा. Nikita, you're on mute.
Okay. So if I ask the rest of your colleagues that what is the target for 2021 for Lemon Yellow, do you think they'll be able to answer?
no, I don't.
No.
No.
This is a very important exercise. So why I'm telling you, I could have told this to Samir and Amit, right? Salespeople are the captains of the ship. The way the captain will steer the ship, the company will go in that way. So you three are getting coached on this. It is expected of you to play some amount of leadership roles. So we'll come to one more session where we will set up goals, where each person of the company should know that this is where we are going. Right? So when the pilot starts the plane, the pilot announces, right? Why do you think the pilot announces? We bought the ticket. We know where we are going. Why do you think the pilot announces? आज की उड़ान हमारी दिल्ली से बॉम्बे से दिल्ली तक इतना देर रहेगी. Why does the pilot keep announcing that when we're about to land also they make announcements, right? We're about to land in the Delhi airport. We have bought the tickets. We know where we're going. The crew member, the pilot, it is to reaffirm the journey. It is to reaffirm the goal. Right? If you do not know where you're going, there is no point in doing all so much of effort. It is just like packing for vacation, right? You packed everything, but you don't know where you're going. So goal setting is a very, very important exercise for any organization, whether you're a startup or you're an enterprise. We do the same thing year on year. Every year we do that. Every January we sit with my team. We review the previous year. We set targets for next year. The target could be anything. The target could be revenue. The target could be number of logos. The target could be number of customers. But a target has to be there. Okay, coming back to this document, so Nupur, so just expand on this part. Who are we serving?
Okay.
What pain point? This is good. Low awareness, low lead generation, poor interface. This is what your customers are suffering, right? That's what you say.
Yeah.
Okay. How we deliver. This is again you need to expand. So like what Amey and Nikita have mentioned, how we deliver. So this is you're written very qualitatively, that professionally. So see, professional is the minimum thing. It is expected you to be professional. So professional is no more differentiator, or it's no more a buzzword. If you are in the game,
Okay.
it is the minimum gate pass. How are we
Okay.
different from others? Promising deadlines. Again, deadlines. When you are a service-oriented company, deadline is the bare minimum. It cannot be differentiated.
Okay.
It is the if you have opened a services company, you are servicing customers. You have to adhere to deadlines. Believe in clean and less noise. What's that?
Not to make it very much cluttered, or believing in simple, clean designs rather than too much flashy.
Okay. Okay, I think this is a good differentiator. So what we'll do is we'll pick from everyone the good stuff. We'll combine into one document. Okay. Then we'll show it to your bosses and we'll get it signed off. Okay.
Okay.
So Nikita and Ami, you can comment. You can see the screen, right? Let me just zoom it a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are our offerings? Is this all correct? Because I don't know your offerings. Logo, brochure, social media marketing, website designing, app design, video.
Yeah,
Is this
it's
all correct?
One thing is video. So till now we have offered only animated video. Obviously we cannot shoot, and we are not a film based kind of that kind of video. Videos are also different types. So we have made an animated video, but so video can be more specific, like an animated video of 1 minute.
Okay,
Or
you have
just
made an
animated
video.
videos. Like,
Yeah, we have made one, so that could be more specific, like in terms of video. Because video is a very broad topic now.
So I have put it broadly, to be honest. I have not put, so basically videos and all that come under certain things. So it could come under branding and identity. It could come under digital marketing.
Right. So this is how you should. When somebody asks, let's say you have a restaurant. If I ask you what restaurant is that, so we serve noodles, we serve soup, we serve chicken lollipop, we serve Hakka noodles. What was my question?
What do you serve?
What kind of
Chinese.
restaurant? So if you say Chinese, so these are your menu, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have to, so like for example, design, right? Design can be broken up into app design, web design, UI UX design. So your major component is design, right? Then it could be marketing. Marketing can be two ways: digital marketing, social media marketing. Then third is your major pillar is branding. I don't know
Yeah.
if these all three can be combined into branding, or only the design part can be combined into branding.
Yeah, this actually is based on. So I have been here for a little longer. So it's based on what we usually put in our company profile deck. So the one that I have listed uh, is actually the one that we. So this clears up. So only saying design also makes it very too broad. Like, so even under UI UX design, there are various things. It could be a touch kiosk. It could be like, there are a lot of UI UX projects that we can bifurcate it into. But an app design, again, I've kept it separate because under app you can have a lot of things. Under web, so that's how the target audience would understand. So if I put these four to five things in a profile document, the client or the person looking at it would understand on a okay level that these are the main things that we are into. So that's why I've made it app design as a separate, website design as a separate thing. And branding identity considers of logo and brochure and videos and those things. So branding is
Nupur, why you not mentioned branding? Nikita has mentioned branding and identity. Amaya,
I have separate like brochure design, logo.
Yeah, even I have separated it.
mhm.
so that's the
Very-
umbrella term basically, branding and identity. So
yeah,
these guys have I think
that's what I was
mentioned.
looking for.
Okay. Okay.
So you have to think like a website. When somebody clicks on it, there's a drop down, and drop down there are further drop downs, right? It's like
Yeah.
a mind map. You click on it, then it opens up branches like that. So you three have to be very very clear what our offerings are. Right? Like for example, PPT deck. Amay has mentioned, right?
Yeah,
Now, what service does it fall? Is it
it
designing,
also comes under branding.
branding? So it is
Yeah.
branding, right? So this is how we should do. After the session, spend 15 minutes with each other, finalize this part. What are our offerings, right?
Okay.
You three should be on
Yeah.
the same page because this is the company's what is going out in the market, what is within you, what is within what is that you will tell your others, your juniors also. So you have to be clear. You cannot be fighting amongst अरे नहीं नहीं ये तुम लोग करते नहीं अरे नहीं नहीं करते हैं like that, right? So um, please firm up this section. What are our offerings and where are we serving? I would say you have a very strong India or not even India. I think you have a very strong Western India strategy. Whatever business you have done so far, so you have a good Western India strategy. If it is part of your company mandate to venture pan India or to some other geographies, we'll discuss about that. But for now, as of today, you should write Mumbai, Mumbai region and Western India region. But I think that's what I'm assuming, right? The majority of your clients are from this area, right? So
Yeah.
the team leader for this task is Nupur. right? You will Nupur, you will combine, you will take one item. You three should be in agreement. You
Okay.
and you three should approach Samir or Amit for 15 minutes. Boss, this is what we have done, and Karmesh also agrees with this. Can you sign off? Is this what? So he might come up with something. No, why didn't you put this one? He'll have some inputs, right? They will have some inputs.
Yeah.
Meaning this document should get finalized in the next session. That's it. So Nupur, this is your task. You are the team leader for this activity.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, Ameya. So this is good. Ameya website design, brochure design. You've written very detailed. That's fine. Okay, one good thing I like is awesome team. YLY. So if you Nupur, I've taken over here one thing: thought design, being woke, belief in clean and less noise. So these are three good things you have written. Very powerful things. Ameya
Okay.
has written awesome team. It's a very powerful thing. So like I said, humans like to do business with humans. When as a customer I see the team is happy, the team is doing, the team is gelled well. If you see so many startups, they put so many smiling faces, right, of the team wearing the same t-shirts and putting out to their clients. Why do they do that? It sends a very powerful message to your clients that this is working as a team, and my business or my project is in safe hands. If the team is happy, the team is being taken care, that means the customer will be taken care. So there's a very beautiful book by that guy who was the CEO of HCL called Employees First, Customer Second. What's his name? Arun Nair or something. I don't, the CEO of HCL. So you can do that. It's a very nice book. It has a very employee focused approach of HCL. That but that's a different thing. They practice it or not, but they put employees first and the customers second.
Oh.
Same with Alibaba. Alibaba always says employees first. So this is a very good, powerful differentiator what Ameya has written. Who are we serving? This is also very nicely done. This one. This is again, Nupur. You three have to finalize,
Okay.
because when we make sales strategies, like I said, this has to be industry specific. Design or videos, everybody needs it, but can you make strategies for everybody? The person who serves everybody serves nobody. Into 2020, today is the world of experts. Experts means somebody, if you say that Lemon Yellow is a design company which targets only the restaurant industry, you will be treated as an expert. Who makes more money, the brain surgeon or the general physician?
Brain surgeon.
Why? The general physician sees the whole body, right?
Yeah.
For 400 rupees. The brain surgeon charges 40,000 per hour, right?
Yeah.
So the more narrow you become, the more money you can make, the more authority you will have in the business. That is period. This is 2020. You have to survive. You cannot be everything for everybody. So when you say MNCs, MNC is a very broad term. So there is nothing called MNC. You have to further distill. What in
Okay.
MNCs? Which industry? Is it the restaurant industry? Is the construction industry? Is the mining industry? Agriculture? What? Very specific. Right?
Okay.
So Nupu, just make a note.
Yeah.
We have to finalize on what our offerings are. Who are we serving? Where are we serving? These three have to be formed up. There should be no confusion with these three sections.
Yeah.
Right? FMCG, good. This is. So basically, do you understand the term niche and micro niche? So it's like a funnel, right? It's coming
Yeah.
down. So if you say like MNC, MNC is like the funnel, the top. What in MNC? Which industry? If you say hospitality, hospitality is again a subcategory. You have to narrow it down. Hospitality, what? Is it five-star hotels? Is it takeaway restaurants? Is it QSRs? What? So the more narrow you become, the more focused your strategy will be. Then people will treat you like that. Okay, these guys are experts. They will treat you like brain surgeons. They will not treat you like 400 rupees wala GPs.
Yes.
Right? So please drill it down. When you say retail, again retail for what? Agriculture retail. People who sell fertilizers also retail, right?
Yeah.
You're getting the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a thinking exercise. This is not a very copy paste kind of exercise. This you got to actually think. When you say artists, what? Performing artists, theater artists, people who paint, people who blog are also calling themselves as artists. So
Yeah.
who is your target? Yeah, automobile again. So try to think little deep. Is there a sub segment?
Okay.
Right? So the more narrow you become, the better it is.
Yeah.
If you can make it like
But is there a limit to this? Like, can we have a
limit? The limit is up to your delivery capacity.
how? Okay.
Like for example, automobile, I can break it up into so many segments. People who manufacture clutch is also part of automobile industry, right?
Yeah.
People who manufacture engines, people who manufacture glass, the windshield,
Windshield.
people
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
manufacture components inside the car, the electrical components. They're all big industries, right?
Yeah.
When you see one car now, what do you see? I forget the book. When you see one car, there are 43 companies, average. So when you see one, let's say Swift, it is not Swift. There are 43 companies inside which makes Swift. So if you have a strategy for those 43 companies, very good. But can you serve those 43 companies? If you cannot, then don't. So when you say automobile, so what I think you mean by is car manufacturers, Maruti, Hyundai, or maybe car dealers. Car dealers are also part of automobile industry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll have to. So this is good at a broad level, high level. You have to go 2 levels down.
Okay.
Market, sub-market, niche.
Okay.
Right?
ठीक है.
Healthcare is such a broad thing. Who are you targeting? Medical equipment manufacturers? Are you targeting the pharma industry? Are you targeting doctors? I know Samir loves targeting doctors. We have worked with a lot of doctors. So
Yeah.
a doctor, right? Doctors, and again, doctors can be again subdivided. ENT specialists, right? Throat specialists, eyes. Huge. There's a huge market. If you just go to Just Dial, if you write in ophthalmologist, there'll be at least 20,000 ophthalmologists, right? If you just take that as your business, I think with only one sub niche, you can run your business for next 10 years. If somebody starts a company just targeting ophthalmologists, I bet you can run a business with that. So there's no. So I guess getting the point. Go
Yeah,
down,
Yes.
go
Yes.
deep, create micro niche. So I just made one inserted one draw. I'll just tell you how to create like a mind map. If you've written MNCs, right, what you should do is like this. Getting it 1.1.
Okay.
You just broken up the segment. You add one more row at 1.2. So be very specific, and please do not write wish list, because we are talking about business. Wish list means like we said, I can serve somebody in Nigeria, I can serve somebody in New Zealand. That does not mean I'm serving them or I have a plan to serve them.
Okay.
Same with the industries. I think we can also target, but do you have the bandwidth? Because every activity will take away your energy and your time, right? Do you have the bandwidth to do that? So be very specific. Fintech, I can understand. Fintech is a niche. Fintech is a niche. I can find out 3 different niches. Insurance fintech, right? Like Acco, like what is that company called? A very famous company. So insurance tech, loan tech, and banking tech could be part of fintech. People who aggregate loans, people who aggregate insurance, and people who do generic. Because I can tell you, because my customers are fintech. In my BPO, we serve fintech customers, and we have broken down into categories. Insurance aggregators, the
Policy Bazaar.
Policy Bazaar is a micro niche. They do only insurance. They don't do anything else. Paisa Bazaar does only loans. Right? The same company. Why did you open 2 websites? Wrote down only one website, right? They want to milk the market. They want to what do you call, maximize their focus into two different markets by breaking the market down. One is for insurance. If you see the, say the cardekho.com, bikedeco.com, thisdeco.com, right? They're segregating their market. If
Yeah.
they can segregate, Lemon Yellow should also segregate.
Yeah.
Getting it? So fintech, again, you can break it down. Healthcare, you can break it down. Automobile, definitely you can break it down. FMCG, again, FMCG. See, there is one exercise what we'll do is called a marketing briefcase. Okay. A briefcase is again a pillar document. Tomorrow you are there or not. Tomorrow you are getting promoted. You'll have new people. Tomorrow you, let's say Nupur moves to director of client relations. She'll replace, let's say, Amit. So you will have BD people under you, right? You will just hand over that briefcase to them. Boss,
Okay.
this is your coaching. This is your live coaching. Read that doc. There'll be a set of documents, and there's a science behind those documents. Why those documents are required. So one of the critical element of a marketing briefcase is a case study document. So case study is a very powerful. It can be reused. It can be used in your website. It can be used in your emails. It can be used to teach your team that this is the client came to us with this problem. Lemon Yellow did this. Because of this, they saw this increase in revenue, decrease in time, reduce in manpower, increase in profits. Something has to be quantified. So why I'm telling you about this, if you write these industries and who we are serving, you should have two testimonials in that industry, at least two. So that is why it is very important that you choose your industries very correctly. So let's say if you write automobile, okay, I will ask you, give me 3 stories, right? If you say retail, I will ask you, where are your 3 stories? So for each industry that you choose, you should have a corresponding story. So if you choose, let's say you have 8, as per Ameya's document, there are 8 industries, right? You should have 24 stories. Story could be in the form of a simple PDF documents, it could be in a Word document, could be a testimonial section in your website. So this is the way every business should function, right? You should know your industry, have 3 stories, period. So we will do that exercise. First, you freeze. Keep that in mind that if I'm writing some industry, do I have that story or not?
Okay.
It could be you could have done some work for a customer. The customer might not given you feedback. That's fine, but you have done work for that customer, right? So that becomes a story. So any industry you mentioned, corresponding 3 stories. That's it. So Nupur, team leader, you're getting it right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we are clear about what our offerings. Please finalize. Who are we serving? Where are we serving? Okay. So these are some of the pain points what Ami has mentioned. Bad UI UX. Okay. Good. So I've highlighted all the things. So these are very pertinent and very relevant pain points of your customers. Unhappy users, high jump rate, low conversion. These are very. See, these are keywords. These are keywords which you'll be using to write to your customers, to your prospects. Are you suffering from this? Do you know a bad design can increase your bounce rate? Something like that. Do you know a badly designed logo can decrease your conversions by this much? So when you have these keywords, you can just play around with the customers. These are all inside stuff, right? And this is directly linked to the customer's business. So you have to write that story. Let's say bad UI UX. What happens if you have bad UI UX, Samya? What can happen if you have bad UI? Let's say I have bad UI UX. I'm a customer.
So, like, whenever I see, for example, if I'm a customer, whenever I see a website which has very bad UI UX, so I don't feel like staying on particularly on that website. I just simply, अरे यार ये website मतलब बहुत boring है, like अच्छा नहीं है. I just if I'm मतलब अगर मेरे को सच में उस website पे काम है मतलब जबरदस्ती, तो it's like कि अभी I have to work on this app. For example, my bank account is in Corporation Bank. So the previous app that was like very pathetic. But I have to check my account statement. So I have to, use it. I didn't have any choice. So that thing is a negative part for any company, like thing. So so
Let's say
people.
I'm a potential client, right? I say, Amaya, I need some help. In my website sucks. So you went through my website. Then what do you do next?
So I would I would see ki what in entire website, what exactly which exactly part is which can be improved, like which has bad UI UX, or the in terms of UX, like which can be more improved, which is the right way to segregate or to make the users easy operate your website. Also in terms of UI, also like I can note down or I can suggest ki,
Okay.
these things should.
So you'll do a diagnosis. It's called a diagnosis part,
Basically, yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Do
in
an
short,
audit.
yeah,
Yeah.
audit,
Audit.
basically.
Next, what do you do?
Uh, so then I would like these are the points that I have observed throughout these things.
So do you document it and send it to your customer? Is
No,
that is that part of your SOP, your standard operating procedure?
No.
like if we are going to work on it, then only we show to them ki these are the things.
So on a broad level, like you said, we can mention like this is your problem and this is the
Solution.
side effect and this is the solution. We are the solution. We bring the solution.
Do you
But
do that? Do you do that? Is it part of your
but on a very broad level, not the way, not a detail like exactly kya problem hai, because that's a service in itself. It's called UX audit. So we can't tell them directly what are the problems, but we can say there is a problem because of which people are not like you're not able to reach more people, or your people are not staying on the website, or it's not interesting enough, or you're having drop rates, bounce rates, because there are a lot of problem areas. But we can analyze and give you a proper document. But that will be a and the solution also. But that will be a service. That's how we're supposed to.
I'll tell you a very nice strategy for this. I have closed millions of dollars over the phone. Million. My target in 2010 was $1 million, and I've closed without going to the client's office. Everything over the phone, everything over the email. One strategy I've learned from engineers, not from salespeople, from engineers. I used to work with solution engineers. They're like very techies. They know everything about the website. What I used to
Yeah.
sell them was CDN. You understand CDN services? CDN, content delivery. How do you make the website faster? You have to buy a CDN service. Let's say you open a website, the website is opening very slow. Then you tell the client, boss, your website is very slow. So what does the client do? He buys a CDN service to make the website faster. So we used to sell those CDN services.
Okay.
What this is called, rub them in the right place where it hurts. Okay. You take all these points that you mentioned, bad UI UX and all that. You show them data. This is not a proposal. Okay. This is what we call is a pre-proposal document. It's a very simple, crisp, one page or two page doc. It could be slides. What I tell them, Mr. Customer, I was observing your website for the last 30 days. 30% of your people did not buy your products. Okay. If your average ticket size is $1,000, in the last 30 days, you have lost $300,000 because your website speed was 0.6 seconds. And here is my data from keymetrics.com. It shows your three competitors. Their website opens in 0.2 seconds, 0.3 seconds, 0.4 seconds. Yours is 0.6 seconds. Can you imagine? Can you live with this 0.2 seconds? I've done that many, many times. I used to hit them where it hurts. Make them suffer, and you be the doctor. Okay, you
Yeah.
inflict the wound and you be the doctor. This is a very
So
good sales strategy. It takes I'll tell you half an hour to get this document.
yeah.
You have to tie that pain to a business pain. Okay, and you have to talk their language. What do you mean by their language? This document will go to a CTO. This document will not go to a CMO. What is a CMO? Chief Marketing Officer, right? What is a CTO? Chief Technical Officer. So if I write a love letter in Greek to a French girl, she understand. She will not understand, right? If I reverse it, They will not understand. CTOs and CMOs are like those people who you are flirting. They understand different languages because their KR is different. Like your KR is different than the guy who's doing web designing. Their KR is different, right? You understand KR is, right?
Yeah.
Your appraisals, key result areas. Ami is looking lost. What happened? KRA क्या होता है? When you're doing appraisal, let's say Samir is doing appraisal. The way he will appraise a salesperson is different from the way he will do appraisal for a web designer, right? For a salespeople, he'll have 3 targets. ऐसे करना है, ऐसे करना है, ऐसे करना है. You have to do this many targets, this many leads, this. Designer का क्या करना है? On time delivery, no coding mistakes, something like that. So they have two different ways of evaluating them, right?
Yes.
Same with CTO and CMO. They are not owners of the company; they are employees, right? So you write their language. CTO ko, what does the CTO? What is the CTO bothered with? Let's understand. CTO and CMO क्या करता है एक company में? Are they the same person or two different people?
Two different people.
Nupur, CTO CMO क्या करते हैं?
Chief Technical Officer would be part of the operations mainly, and
He's the owner of the technology. Okay, and CMO?
he is above all of them. He is managing the whole place at one time.
So I
Chief,
think he's
Chief
head of the
Marketing Officer.
marketing team.
Okay.
There are two departments: technology,
Technical
marketing.
and
So if I tell the CTO, boss, your logo, because of the green color, people are not, there is a lot of what you call stickiness of the brand is not good. What will the CTO say?
Yeah, but the other things are working fine. He's
Go and speak to the CMO. This is
technology
the department.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he might not buy.
Correct. If you tell the CMO, boss, the Amazon Web Service that you have installed, no? the AWS system and the
AWS.
mainframe, वहाँ का जो server का जो speed है, that is affecting our business. What will the CMO say?
Talk to the CTO.
Go to the CTO. So they have very clear-cut definition. They have clear-cut roles. So when I'm writing that presentation, na, I have my audience in mind. मैं किसको लिख रहा हूँ? This love letter is going to the CTO because he's bothered about website traffic going down because he'll be fired, right, by his boss. He's bothered about loss of abandoned carts. E-commerce is something they measure, right? How many people came to your cart and how many people did not buy.
Yeah.
He's bothered about that. What is the CMO bothered? He's worried about the UI UX part. Instead of making 3 steps to check out, we have put 6 steps to check out. So CMO will be bothered. Why are we making the customer click, click, click 6 times? So you just get the data, understand who you're writing. So this is a pre-proposal document. It's not a proposal. Proposal means we have spoken together, then we write a scope of work. This is what we'll do. This is a, what do you call it, teaser document. Boss, that means it shows the customer that these people have done homework on my business. So when you contact a lead, from the lead, the first thing that should go out is this. Find out all the dirt in their business. Ganda cheez nikalo uske business ka. Where it is hurting them, find out all the dirty things and you be the doctor to those dirty things. Boss, you're losing this, we can help you with this. Just show them that 2 slides with data. This is what your competition is doing. Another very good strategy is, I don't write the name of the competitor. Let's say I'm servicing Amazon. I will send the CTO of Amazon, let's say Mr. John, do you know I closed the deal with Flipkart, your competitor. We help this solution by which Flipkart is doing this much of business. This is a little tricky because Flipkart is a customer, they will not appreciate them taking their name. But you might say that your competitor is using our services and getting this kind of results. There's 1 slide with data, with a small screenshot. That's it. Okay. Because what we want as salespeople? We want them to come to us, right? We want them to talk to us. We want them to understand our services and finally buy our services, right? So the best way is hit them where it hurts. This is the most beautiful strategy. Any sales guy will tell you that. So one more thing, Nikita, I want you to do is I'll share a SOP document with you. It's a blank document, right?
Okay.
Whatever we are deciding as a sequence, as a operating procedure, we'll have to document that.
Okay.
This is also required by your bosses, right? So once we finish the entire session, you will have a big document where everything is mentioned. Like for example, what do you do? Like I asked, when you Amia goes to somebody's website, what do you do? This has to be documented. We do an audit. We send them an audit report or what we call a pre-proposal document. And what is the structure of the document? Find out the dirty things, find out the painful things, and be the doctor to those painful things. So it has to be documented. Tomorrow, let's say Lemon Lily is going for ISO certification. Are you ISO certified? You're not, right? As of now. So if you have to go for ISO certification, these documents are required. So it's better that you start making that. It's a very simple thing. Whatever. So it's the methodology is this: do what you document and document what you do. अगर आप बोलते हो कि client का email आने के बाद I will respond within 24 hours, you have to write it down, and you have written it down. You have to practice it. So do what you document and document what you do. So Nikita, you will be the Spock for the SOP document, right? It will take 15 minutes to do. So whatever we discuss, whatever we write, you put it into that. You get documented. This is what we do. So are we starting the pre-proposal strategy?
Yeah,
When
I
we are
just
looking
have
at client accounts?
I just have a one small query.
Sure.
Last month probably I used to do a lot of lead generation through LinkedIn and all. Like I used to on Google, I used to go on Chrome and select any domain like car companies, and I used to see their websites. So there were a lot of websites which were like very 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 bad condition in terms of UI. So what we initially we did was that we just framed a body copy of for a mail that we are into UI UX design agency. We are a good website designers and all, and we used to just simply send those content through mail to particularly that person on LinkedIn, the message part. So after taking the premium account, so now if I if I see a particular website which is a very bad condition, so if I do that the audit and I send it, so that before with the very initial stages like you said right now, so that would be a good thing, right? So that the customer will directly for example, if I'm sending this to the CTO of JK Tires or the CMO of JK Tires, so is that would be a good thing, right? So I'm sharing all the pain points to them, and then I would tell that we can help you out with these problems. So yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is where you said you do LinkedIn lead generation, right?
Yeah.
And you pick some industry.
Huh.
So tomorrow you will not do some industry. We will fix this part. Who are we serving, right? You will run campaigns only with your industries that you mentioned.
Okay.
Then the story will link. When you, let's say, I have three customers in, let's say, tire. Tire is part of automobile, right? I have three stories. When I do a campaign, because you cannot do random campaigns, Amya will run. So let's say I'm the sales manager of three of you. I will assign like this. Amya, for month of June, July, and August, you will focus on three industries: tire, restaurants, fintech. You will not do anything else.
Okay.
You will tie these three companies with three geographies: Mumbai, Gujarat, Bangalore. So you know what you're doing for the next 3 months. Getting it? So what you're doing is correct. You picked up some CTO from industry, and what I'm saying is now you have to change the way you're working.
Huh.
We will come to that. So what? So you were asking me, will this strategy will fit into that or not, right? If you take the CTO
Yeah, yeah.
retire.
Look, for example, there are a lot of websites which are particularly in my mind right now only. I can directly say, "Okay, I want to really," because they are such a big company and the website is so bad. So I was like, really, I want to, yeah, if you have such a good name in your domain, in your tire company brand. So if so you should have at least a good website, right? So that was the my
Perfect. I mean,
main.
this is a very good strategy. So tie this
Yeah.
strategy, what I told you today,
Okay.
what humans retain more. Humans retain visual. You are a design company, right? You know it.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
visual sticks with you longer than text.
Yeah.
So let's say you put one screenshot, let's say of wherever you got that, what I did, right? I put one screenshot. See your user abandonment rate. It's dropping. The graph is showing a dip. And one line text above, 40% down with the arrow mark. People remember visuals, right?
Yeah.
So if your email, you don't have to write long email to a CTO. 3 screenshots enough. It'll tell him the entire story. If you say that, I had to go through 6 clicks to, find the buy now button.
Hmm.
Do you know how many people are dropping because of this? How much of customer irritation? Something. Put those 3 screenshots. So you should be very clear. And why you're putting those 3 screenshots is because you want to pitch those services, right?
Yeah.
Just for the heck of it, you're not putting. Because you want to pitch those services. So everything should be tied up together. Your story should be tight.
Okay.
You should pick your micro industry. You should pick the pain point of the micro industry. You should find out that pain, document that pain, and write to the right decision maker. And this again, that's the reason I told you it's very, very, very important that you write this love letter to the right person. If you do all this great amount of work, but you send it to somebody else, not a decision maker, and the person who does not understand this, it's a waste. It'll be a waste of time. He will not respond to your email. He'll keep following up, following. Nothing will happen. You're getting the point. So this thing should be so clear in our mind when we run a campaign.
Yes.
Okay. So if I want to talk to somebody like regarding your website can be is very in a very bad condition, and it can be improved in a very good way. So which perfect person would have CMO?
See, depends. That's a very good question. Okay, it's a very good question. Again, I'll tell you, it depends. Have you identified your industry and sub-industry? See, here also there are a lot of things which I have not put. When you make a campaign, now,
Huh.
you have to also do size of the company. Okay, is Lemon Yellow targeting only the big companies or the smaller companies? So Nupur, one more column please add.
Okay.
Size. Size in the terms of employees, size in terms of revenue. It is very, very important because it will change the direction of the company. The same effort to pitch a small guy to pitch a big guy, the same effort is required. Okay, you don't need more effort to pitch to Facebook than to pitch to a small local person. If let's say Facebook is your target, so why waste your time on small fishes? Target the big fish.
Yeah.
Right? So this document should be very clear. Let's say you are breaking down FMCG. You're saying FMCG. What is that? What is the company called? Big Bazaar type of companies, right? What are they called? What is the category? Big Bazaar.
Supermarket?
Sorry.
Supermarket?
Let's
Markets,
let's say supermarket.
consumer
Huh.
goods.
Yeah. Let's say supermarkets, right?
Yeah.
Supermarkets with a revenue of 50 crores to 200 crores, right? With an employee headcount of let's say 1,000 to 2,000 in the area of Mumbai, Ahmedabad, and Bangalore. It should be very, very crystal clear. Who are you targeting? Then when you put this stuff into LinkedIn, LinkedIn will throw you the right results. When you write supermarket, what are you pitching to supermarket? What will you pitch?
So it could be a e-commerce platform. It could be the UI UX of the e-commerce.
Do you do
platform.
e-commerce?
Yes, we do the UI UX of e-commerce.
UI UX. Okay.
For e-commerce platforms.
Okay. So supermarket, you will pitch UI UX. And coming back to Ameya's question, who do we target? So you have to think whose job is to make the UI UX. If you go to LinkedIn, you know LinkedIn how to do Boolean search. Boolean
No,
search,
but you mentioned it in your book.
right? You have to put parenthesis. You have
Check
to
that,
put
yeah.
plus. You have to put the plus symbol. So if I write, let's say, Big Bazaar in parenthesis plus parenthesis UI UX, you will see exactly those profiles popping up. Find the top dog in that company. Find the
Yeah.
top guy who's responsible for UI UX. That is how you should do targeting. And you guys are not using LinkedIn Sales Navigator, right? You're using the free LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So
We have
LinkedIn
a
Sales
premium. We have bought the premium account.
Premium is different from Sales Navigator.
No, we don't use sales.
LinkedIn has four premium. One is what is called premium. One is Sales Navigator. One is
Marketing.
that what is it called hiring for hiring people and all that. So premium is not Sales Navigator. People make the LinkedIn will offer you that free trial or something. Upgrade premium, it does nothing. Sales Navigator is meant for sales campaigns. It's a very powerful tool. It can give you promotion within 6 months. Trust me. If you guys know
Yeah.
how to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator, tomorrow you will all become VP of sales.
Yeah. So actually, the thing was, last month only, me and Nupur we researched on this, like the sales navigator thing, and we are like we planned, and we were like, we need to buy this, and we had about with Samir as well. So we are like, we are planning on that as well. Like, we are thinking of like buying that,
So do
taking
you
that
have Sales Navigator or you have premium? What do you have?
We have premium
premium
currently.
now, but we are we both did the research, and we were like, we should take that sales navigator.
This is the free trial you're doing, right? Or you paid for it?
Paid premium.
For sales navigator.
For premium, we have paid.
We have paid premium.
So you bought the wrong product. Okay. So I don't know. So I think Samir, we were speaking to him. The Sales Navigator has this very powerful. You can run campaigns. I don't know what. I've never tried premium. So I'll tell you one more secret in that book I mentioned in Crushing LinkedIn is I have done all my deals through LinkedIn. 95% of my deals are through LinkedIn. $1 million deals. And Sales Navigator I've given it to my team. I want my team to be successful. I'm happy doing my free version. There's a strategy behind it. When you run campaigns, um, very detailed campaigns, very concentrated campaigns, it has to be rigorously seen every day. You cannot. It is not a plug it and forget it model. You have to monitor those campaigns every day. So Sales Navigator is an added burden to me. That is the reason I've given my Sales Navigator to my team. I do the free version. I build connections, I build relationships, and I close deals like that. But my team has to do that every day. Monitor campaigns. आज मैंने 100 लोगों को भेजा. Out of 100, how many people accepted? You know how to create marketing funnels inside LinkedIn? Okay, I think we are digressing. Hold on. There is too much, and these are all my very favorite subjects. So I can go on talking about it. So we'll not digress. So we'll come back to here. So you're getting the point, right? You get these things clarified. This has to be crystal clear. Once you have this very crystal clear, you can run your campaigns. You know who to target, what size of company to target, where will I find this target, right? So
Yes.
Nupur, you're clear about your task, right?
Yes, very much.
Okay. Okay, this is also when you mentioned about awesome team. So this is part of that. We are a culture-driven company, so that is also good. See, we having deadline, right? Being professional. These are given things. Keeping in mind the current trends is also not a differentiator. It's not a big deal. You're not doing a favor. If you want to be in the business, you have to know the trends, right? So this is not a differentiator. So if let's say,
But particularly in our field, like for example, this is from my personal observation, that a lot of UI UX companies, again, this is from experience and working with clients who have worked with other UI UX agencies and other like the feedback we get is that we are one of the companies who do a lot of like up-to-date tools we use. So we don't use Photoshop as much as we would use a Sketch, which is a Mac product. So while a lot of UI UX companies are still working on like Photoshop, so it is an archaic way of working in terms of if you're still using Photoshop for UI UX development. It's a very old school way of working, which takes more time.
who will ask these questions? Does the customer
So
ask? Does the customer care?
yes, they do. They do. For our, in our case, they do. So they usually ask, how would you deliver, or what are your deliverable format? क्या होता है आपका? How do you pass? So we usually work with their technology partners, right? Or we give our designs to their tech team, and they develop it further. So usually they have this query that what format are we going to get the files in? Well, the deliverables. Our deliverables are the files, the design files. So they will ask us, and we usually say we share Zeppelin. So they are usually sometimes zapped. What is Zeppelin? Okay, so sometimes, and then it's such an easy tool. We have to actually educate them, but once we tell them what it is, they're like, wow, we never thought of this. Like this was so much easier. So that way, they get really impressed that अभी तक तो हम Photoshop पे कर रहे थे and we expected Photoshop files from you guys. But actually, there have been so many instances where we have introduced their tech team to a much updated current thing that we are using, and it has saved their time also. So it's not a complicated solution or a complicated way of delivering. In fact, it's something that improves efficiency. So that way, up with the trends makes more. It is a differentiator, is what I feel for us,
Okay.
because the other UI UX companies do not endorse it as much as we do. So that.
Okay. We care for the user more than the client. What is this, Amaya? I didn't understand this one.
So ever since I've been in this company, so I have heard Amit sir talk a lot about these things. I have heard these particular statements that but once I witnessed this thing, so designer he suggested कि हम लोग ऐसा करते, the client will be happy. Like ऐसा कुछ तो हुआ था incident, and Amit sir's statement was कि we are not here to please we don't want to please the client. We want to make sure the user is more benefited than the. So that statement is being stuck in my mind ever since that. So I was like, this thing can be a point where we can differentiate. So
Okay, this is a good thing, a very good thing.
yeah, so
So
that thing has
basically,
been in my
you're
mind.
telling your client, let's say your client is Sony Live, right? So you're telling
Yeah.
Sony boss, I'm not here to make you happy. I know your users.
Huh.
You know what your users want. I will make great product which your users will love, right?
And eventually they'll love you, right? So
Yeah,
both are happy. If
that's
you
good.
make the users happy, so Amit sir's funda is like, if you make the users happy, the client eventually gets happy.
Perfect. Okay, Nikita, spunky design team. So people are spunky. Your team members. What's the?
So we are lemons. We are very zesty, spunky. Is one
So
adjective.
lemon, you know what? If you press the lemon hard, it becomes bitter, right?
We've got the spunk. I feel we are very fresh, alive, agile kind of a team.
So wherever there's a mention of company culture, now I really like it. So because, like I mentioned, people love to do business with humans. So what Ameya and Nupur have mentioned about company cultures and Nikita's, so these are very powerful things. You have to bring this as a differentiator. If you have to put three differentiators, one has to be about people, one has to be about technology, one has to be about process. Right? Three differentiators. This is the ideal standard copybook style of writing. How are we different? People, process, and technology. So technology, you guys have built a case. I agree. And we are up to date. We deploy the latest. We say so. Say everything has to be linked, right? Why are we deploying this? It will save you time. It is easy. It will increase your conversions. It will increase your revenue, whatever. We have great set of people. That means your business is in safe hands. We have professionals who understand your job, and because we are a happy bunch of people, we are spunky people. We put a lot of effort and we put our heart into our jobs, right?
Yes.
And third is your process. So I'm trying to see where is your process. If there's a differentiator. You have mentioned Nupur as a thought design, right? And Nikita has mentioned something about this. Where is that thing? Here you mentioned design-led UI UX. So mostly UI UX, when we hear that word, we think of technology.
Yeah.
But you are not a technology-driven company. You are a design-driven company, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
we are on the same page, Amiya,
Yes.
Nupur, and Nikita, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So please condense these three things. Come out with three powerful this thing. We will also have three more other differentiators. We'll cover in the next session. But for now, please focus on आप तीनों का दिमाग ब्रेन को फ्रीज करो 15 minutes just brainstorm on this. But this has to be little take a little bit of time. Is who are we serving? Your market, sub market, and your niche, right? Pain points, I think everybody is right on the money. That everybody's mentioned the right pain points of your customers. That is good. So ये यहाँ पे final tab बोल के है. There's one final tab. Nupur, you have to compile all the final stuff.
Okay.
Signed off by one of these two guys.
Yes.
Two brothers,
Sure.
right? So this one, what you mentioned, Nikita, over here, number 2, differentiate that both the founders. So this is a good differentiator when you are running a personal brand-led company like Gary Vaynerchuk. His entire business is on his own name, right?
Yeah.
Like Tony Robbins Institute. If it was Amit and Samir company, so this would have been more powerful. This I'm not denying that. This is a good differentiator, but if we have to document this differentiator, might not be advisable. This can come out during your other conversations, like putting it in your email or putting it in your slightly in your website about us section. That is fine, right?
Yeah.
Because the Lemon Yellow is an enterprise, right? It is not a person-driven business. Fine. I think this is good. So we should. So when can you get back to me, Nupur? Saturday? Friday evening?
Yeah, I think Friday evening would be fine.
Okay, great. So Friday evening. So please do this. And please, whatever this strategies as I keep talking in flow. If you can, like for example, what we spoke today, that pre-proposal document and all that. You put that. So I'll share that document with you, the standard operating procedure. All you have to do, Nikita, is end of this session, just document. It will take 10 to 15 minutes. That's it. Just document it. Hold on 1 second. Can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So like I mentioned, there's at least 6 categories where you can differentiate yourself. What makes Lemon Yellow great? So you'll be talking about product, your relationship, that means your company culture, and your service, your technology. So there'll be 2 more differentiators that will come, like pricing. It's a very, very powerful thing. If you see a company that is asking for upfront money, if you go to Facebook, you go to Instagram, let's say you want to buy a software, Like I bought a software which will convert any document into ebooks, right? So any company that is asking me for an upfront price, let's say they're saying this is $159. There is another company is offering the same product, but is telling me give me $2 every month. Which one will I prefer?
The cheaper one.
Upfront one.
$2 every month. That means
$2 every month till when?
Yeah. Renewed every year.
Yeah.
So he's making more money out of me, right? If I stick with him. The other guy was charging me $100, but I chose to go with this guy because I can cancel my subscription anytime. But if I paid $100, I have to stick with the product. The product is with me. I have to own that product. Here it is. That's why SaaS companies are so successful. They have a subscription-based model. So what they're doing, they're using price as a differentiator. If their competition is offering providing the customers with upfront money, they're saying, let's beat this guy. We will not ask for one-shot payment. We'll ask them for why Netflix is so big. Netflix, some 100 rupees or 200 rupees per month, you get the whole world in front of you. So pricing is a very, very powerful strategy. It's a very powerful differentiator. So Neil, I know Lemonella how it charges. You go with the project-based pricing, right? हम लोग इतना इतना करेंगे. This will be your charge. We'll charge you 2 lakh rupees, 3 lakh rupees, right? This will be the first payment. This will be the second payment, third payment, right?
That's one. That's one model.
What's the other one?
We have a retainer model as well.
Retainer. So these, right? I mean, we have to think about it. What else can we do in pricing to beat our competition? This is the same thing that your competition is doing, right?
Yeah.
Can we productize? Can we productize? This is again that I'm not expecting you three to do it. This is a business level decision. But you guys, like I said, you are the captains of the ship. You can always make a proposal to your bosses. You say, but boss, can we productize it? We're doing this. We're solving the same problem for everybody. Can we make a small product out of it?
Right.
And just put a price, pay 300 rupees per month, use this. So when does something become a product? When it is answering the same question again and again. You automate it, right? Let's say there's a writer. Somebody is giving them documents to convert into PDF. He's saying, why am I doing that? Why can't I write one small software code, an automation code, and sell that tool? I can earn more money. So service becomes a product. That is when the pricing model changes. So I think we should all think about it. Then your brand, how is your brand? So here that part, the differentiator about those two people, the two founders having combined experience of 40, 50 years, that will come. So for now, you please focus on this document. Next session, we will finalize this document. How are we different? Then this document will be done. We will not do any chedkhani with this document. This document is done. Whatever decisions, whatever strategy will be based on this document. Making sense?
Yes.
Okay, guys. So I think this session was very important. It looked like a very simple Excel sheet, but see how much of discussion we had. So this session was completely dedicated to finalizing the service matrix of Lemonella. So now you can, if you have any questions, we'll open it for Q&A.
I have a question.
Please.
So Amay and I both do a lot of lead searches. So can I, after reading your book and after what we spoke about today, can I start applying it from today itself for all the lead searches I do?
Okay. So just help me understand, when you say lead searches, what do you do?
So the same thing which Amay mentioned, we just pick a random category and we start to view the websites of those companies, and if the websites are really they need some kind of rework to be done, or they're just there for the purpose of being present. So we look for the founders or the managing directors or the partners and view their LinkedIn profiles, and accordingly put it on our GC group that I think we can target these people specifically.
I saw those WhatsApp messages. I was wanting to ask you. So these are very big shots you're finding. So what's the intent? What are we doing with them? Bloom Ventures. You found somebody from some other VC firm. What are you trying to do with them?
Mostly pitching UI UX services.
Is that part of your strategy to go after VC firms?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I didn't see that in your document. You mentioned all the industries. Where is that industry?
Yeah.
You see, this is where it's all scattered. It's all unstructured.
Yeah.
Not part of your document. Why you're doing it? I can go to anybody who has a website is my client, right?
Yes.
Do I have that energy and the bandwidth to do that? You have 3 people. You have 24 hours, 8 into 3. This 24 hours should be completely focused into one activity. It should be channelized. So if VC firms are not part of your target list, which I did not see in your document, don't bother pitching them. Even if they're suffering a lot, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll start with, I think, specifying the, again, industries and the verticals.
Yes,
that
first
we're
you do the
targeting.
document.
Yeah.
First you do that.
Then
document.
we'll do that.
Yeah.
It is keep that in your salespeople keep that in your mind. Who am I targeting? What am I pitching? Where am I pitching? We should have that very clear in our minds. So I was a little surprised that you're pitching to these VC firms. These are very big guys. They will never respond to your email. I can tell you. Have you written to them?
Oh.
They will not respond. They are not those guys to you're targeting the wrong people.
Okay.
Don't go too see. Like I said, what Amya's example. Who should I find? If you type Big Bazaar plus UI UX, you'll find a list of guys, right? You target them, but don't go too big. Don't go and pitch Kishore Biani, the founder
Big
of.
Bazaar founder. Yeah.
He will not, because he's got people under him, right? Same with. I'll just pull up the WhatsApp you mentioned. See, I'll tell you the reason, because my company also runs a VC firm. I know those VCs. I know what kind of personalities they are. Yeah, Sanjay Nath, co-founder Bloom Ventures. You know what is his salary? Sanjay Nath, 1,200 crores is his salary. Do you think he listened to Nupur's email? So if he responds, that means you are a rock star. You'll take a bow from me. Suvir Sajan, Nexus Ventures, Samir Kumar. Don't go for these guys. They are not responsible for their websites. You should know who is responsible for what in their companies. If you're really interested in pitching to them, find out their IT teams. Find out who is responsible. Most of the 90% I can be very sure, because we also do the same thing. They're all freelancers. They're outsourced, right? But there'll be somebody who's managing that function of doing the website and all that. But again, if you're wasting this is energy, this is time. If VC firm is not part of your target list, please do not target them.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Thank you
So
for that.
first thing we can do is the 3 of us, we should we decided first select the target our
But I say दिमाग में आ गया, आज इसको target
and then
करते हैं.
only we'll
No, keeping that in mind. So I do have a direction here. Keeping the testimony bit which you said in mind. So if we are coming up with these are the people we are targeting, we should also have a case study or a testimonial about those industries, right? You said. So we have certain expertise areas, I would say, because we have worked more on some of the segments. So that is one way.
Right.
We're comfortable with those, and we know how to.
If VC firms are your target list, put it in a document. Document what you do what you document. Right?
Yeah.
If you really think there's a merit, how many VC firms have you closed?
So no, I'm not talking about VC firms.
I'm just asking you, how many VC firms have you closed?
I don't think we have.
Do you have 3 stories?
No, that's why we follow that and we make a list.
So
Yeah.
please, so this is like foundation of your house. पहले घर का नींव बनाओ, make this
हाँ.
foundation very strong. Then you think of painting the house. Don't go out to the shop looking for paints.
Okay.
Make the foundation very strong. Then I will teach you guys how to run campaigns. Like I said, you will know what to do every day, what to do every week, every quarter. That is how you will be measured. And you can, when tomorrow there's an appraisal, हमने क्या किया यार, एक साल में क्या किया? You can show exactly this is what you did. If you cannot measure anything, it is time pass. When you step into the office, every activity you do should be measurable. Like they say, if you cannot measure it, you cannot fix it. So this is all part of that game. So this is 2 steps down the line. And this is just like a trailer I gave you. I will teach you how to run campaigns, how to target the right individuals based on size, geography, and industry type. That I will teach you. You've already bought the wrong product. I don't know how to fix that. Then first you get this document ready.
Yeah. We'll do that.
And Sales Navigator, if you're getting 1 month free trial, please take the trial and play around with that.
Okay.
Done? I think we are right on time. I have a lot of calls today.
Yeah.
I know there's too much of information. Nikita, please circulate that SOP document. I will share that access to you right now, so that every day we know what has been done. So Priyanka and Samir, they want to see that. So that's the reason they've asked. So please do that, right? And it has to be like a proper, you've seen the TOC, document TOC. When you open the book, the first page hota na, table of contents, kaisa likha hai? Heading, subheading, like that. So let's say we write service matrix. Then you put, this is what we discussed on service matrix, just bullet points.
Okay.
That's it. So today's session is covered. That's it.
Okay, sure.
Okay, guys. So I don't. My bad part is I don't forget. So whatever we spoke, I'm going to ask you next session what all we have done. Feedly app में पढ़ना है 15 minutes.
Yes.
If you don't have 15 minutes, you don't have a life. 15 minutes. Listen to.
That's a great tip. So thank you.
Listen to. आज जाके सब podcast app load करो. Podcast. Next session, I'll give you a target of summarizing one podcast and coming. Listen to one podcast, give the summary to everybody. Listen to one different podcast and give the summary in the next session. I'll give you, not now, Saturday को बात करेंगे. So we are meeting next Saturday. I mean day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay ना?
Yeah.
Okay guys, take care. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye.
good